We usually see the dead buried beneath the ground or cremated in flame, but did you know that somewhere in this world, there are graveyards where the dead are not hidden underground at all? Instead, their bodies are preserved inside transparent glass coffins, left in plain sight for the living to see every single day. Just imagine this for a moment. What if, right in front of your eye, your ancestors remained lying there for generations after death? What would that even feel like? And in another part of the world, there exists a strange ritual where families bring their dead loved ones back out of their coffins every year. They dress them in fresh clothes, celebrate with them, dance, and even take family photos together. As unbelievable as it sounds, this is completely real. But that's not all. There is even a place where human bodies are not buried at all. Instead, they are offered to birds of prey. Yes, you heard that right. A place where the dead become food for vultures. But have you ever wondered why? Why would anyone allow the human body to be torn apart like that? Is it simply cruelty? Or is there a deeper religious belief hidden behind it? In today's video, we'll explore some of the most disturbing and unusual funeral traditions from around the world. Glass coffin grave. In some remote mountainous areas of China, there are burial grounds where the dead are not buried beneath the earth. Instead, bodies are placed inside transparent glass coffins, allowing their faces to remain visible even after death. Walking through these cemeteries feels deeply unsettling. You don't just see silent grave. It feels as though the bodies inside the coffins are staring directly back at you. Behind this strange custom lies a powerful belief. Locals believe that as long as the deceased remains visible to the living, their spirit can rest peacefully. But perhaps the most disturbing part of these glass coffins is time itself. Nature quietly continues its work. Skin slowly changes color. Faces begin to shrink. Eye sockets sink deeper into darkness. And every terrifying detail remains visible through nothing more than a thin sheet of glass. Here, death is not a single moment. It becomes a slow process unfolding right before your eyes. The unsettling part is not just the body itself, but the brutal reality of decay. Because in this place, only a thin layer of glass separates the living from the dead. Toraja Cliff Grave. For the Toraja people of Sulawesi, Indonesia, death does not mean goodbye. Here, relationships do not end after death. They simply pause. Instead of immediately burying their loved ones, families keep the bodies inside their homes, wrapped carefully in cloth, as if the person were only sick and might wake up again one day. But the most shocking tradition here is called manene. Every few years, families reopen the coffins of their ancestors. The bodies are brought back out. Their remains are cleaned, and they are dressed in fresh, expensive clothes. But this isn't done carelessly. Family members gently dress the deceased themselves, treating them with love and respect. Afterward, the bodies are stood upright. Photos are taken. Stories are shared. And for a brief moment, the line between life and death almost disappears. When the ritual ends, the bodies are returned to their coffins and placed back inside mountain cave. Locals believe that failing to honor this tradition may anger the spirits of their ancestors. And if that happens, crops may fail, illness may spread, and strange misfortunes may descend upon the family. Chowchilla Cemetery. In the middle of Peru's Nazca Desert lies a place where the dead are not hidden underground. Instead, they sit above the earth. This place is known as Chowchilla Cemetery. At first glance, it doesn't even feel like a cemetery. It feels more like an open exhibition. Except here, the display is made up of human remains. This Chowchilla scheme is nearly 1,000 years old. The bodies were not locked away inside coffins. Instead, they were wrapped in cloth, tied with ropes, and placed in a fetal position, almost like a child resting inside the womb. But what makes this place truly extraordinary is the desert itself. The dry climate contains almost no moisture, and because of that, the bodies naturally transformed into mummies over time. Even today, many of them remain eerily preserved, as though they've been frozen in time. The hanging coffins of Sagada. In the mountains of Sagada, Philippines, looking up toward the cliffs reveals something deeply disturbing. You won't just see rock and stone. You'll see coffins hanging high above the ground. Here, the dead are not buried beneath the earth. Instead, they are suspended along steep cliffs. This strange practice is known as the hanging coffins. The local Igorot people believe that the higher a body rests, the closer the soul moves toward heaven. That is why the dead are placed high upon the mountainside. But perhaps the strangest detail is this. Many elderly people build their own coffins before death, and those coffins are surprisingly small. To fit inside them, bodies are often tightly folded into unnatural positions. Sometimes, bones are even forced into place. And beneath these cliffs, scattered human remains can still be found to this day, as though the mountain itself had rejected the dead. Sky burial grounds. High in the frozen mountains of Tibet lies a place where death follows a very different path. Here, the dead receive neither fire nor earth. Instead, their bodies are offered to the sky. This ritual is known as sky burial. As spiritual as it may sound, witnessing it can be deeply unsettling. After death, the body is taken to a sacred location high in the mountains beneath the open sky. Religious monks and specially trained individuals prepare the ritual. Then, using stone tools, the body is carefully broken down into smaller pieces. Even the bones are crushed. The remains are spread across the land, and within minutes, hundreds of vultures descend from the sky. In only a short time, the body completely disappears, leaving behind little more than traces of blood and fragments of bone. For Tibetan Buddhists, body is simply an empty shell after death. So instead of burning or burying it, they offer it as a final act of generosity to another living creature, a final gift of life. Yet there is also fear. If the vultures refuse to eat the body, it is believed that the person may have lived a sinful life, and so family members stand at a distance, praying for the soul of the deceased. Mary Cemetery, Romania. In the small village of Sapanța, Romania, there is a cemetery that looks nothing like a graveyard. There are no dark tombstones, no overwhelming silence. Instead, colorful wooden crosses fill the landscape, decorated with cartoon-like painting and story from the lives of the dead. This place is known as the Mary Cemetery, but despite its cheerful appearance, the truth behind it can feel strangely unsettling. Every grave contains a hand-carved wooden cross, and on each one, the full story of the deceased is written. Not only the good parts, but also their flaws, habits, mistakes, and even the exact reason they died. Some inscriptions openly say, "He drank too much and died too soon." Others reveal darker truths. "He mistreated his wife and now rests beneath the ground." This unusual tradition began in the 1930s when local artist Stan Ioan Patraș believed death should never be hidden. He believed people should be remembered exactly as they lived. Many of the paintings even show the final moments of a person's life: farming, drinking, or frozen forever in the moment tragedy struck. Locals say these graves make families cry and laugh at the same time, because this cemetery does not simply preserve death, it preserves the truth of a person's life. And perhaps that is what makes it truly unsettling, because even after death, your life never fully leaves you. So tell us, what do you think is the best way to honor the dead? Burial, cremation, or returning the body to nature? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.